Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss the concept of the fundamental principles for solving in a problem with the help of an ADT method, or is with the help of an algorithm. We know that algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving any kind of a problem. So that the selection of an algorithm is very important for solving a problem. So in case if they are selecting the best algorithm, that means that if the algorithm is good, then we feel that it is a very efficient in terms of time and space complexity. இப்போ in case நம்மளோட select பண்ற algorithm it is not a good algorithm, then we have to do a rework and identify the best possible way or best solution for finding a solution. So அப்போ ஒரு algorithm best algorithm சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னா we have to follow some certain steps or certain procedure for construction of an algorithm for finding the best solution. So இப்போ நம்ம இங்க என்ன பார்க்க போறோம் அப்படின்னா so what are the basic steps we need to follow for finding a solution for the problem. Okay, the first one என்ன அப்படின்னா the first basic steps என்ன அப்படின்னா understanding of the problem statement. It is a very important method for problem identification of the problem statement. Second one, decide on there are there are different parameters we need to evaluate before selecting the algorithm for solving. The first one, we are going to talking about the capability of your computational devices. Second one, choose whether you are going to provide abstract or exact solution for the problem. Third one, you are going to decide what's the kind of a data structure we are going to implement. And the fourth one, what is the type of methodology we are going to use for finding a solution. And the third step is, after once we are finding about ADT, that is all, we are going to decide all these parameter. Then we are going to decide what is the type of methods we are going to use for specifying an algorithm. So methods for specifying an algorithm. So the next step is this is the third step, and for fourth step is we are going to identify that means we are going to say that proving that algorithm is a correctness. Means your algorithm is correct for the given problem statement with the help of test methods. And the fifth method is just you are going to find the analysis. That is, we are going to analyze an algorithm with the help of your different parameters like and space complexity. And the sixth one is once it is over, then you are going to say the coding an algorithm, implement an algorithm. So these are the 6 major steps normally we need to follow in order to develop an efficient algorithm. Adhaadu or efficient algorithm develop pananum appadina, these are the 6 basic steps we need to decide. The first one, we should have a clear understanding about the problem statement. Second one, we are going to decide some parameters. But one is we need to know about the capacity of a computational devices. And second one is whether we are going to provide exact or approximate solution. And third one, we are going to identify the data structure. I mean that memory allocation and the type of variables we need for implementation. And the next one, we are going to find the type of algorithm design methodology for solving a problem. So once we found out all these parameters, then we are going to identify in what way we are going to specify an algorithm. And the next one is once the algorithm is developed, then we have to prove that algorithm is correct. Then finally, we are going to analyze the algorithm with the help of time and space terminologies. And finally, once if you feel that it is okay, then we are going to implement that algorithm with the help of that any specific programming domain. So these are the basic steps we need to follow. Okay, just I can go with more deep. So normally, this understanding of the problem statement, it provides that, or it is used to identify. Normally, it is used to identify the gap between the current state, அதாவது current என்னமான situation அந்த particular product இருக்கு, and we are going to find the goal. நம்ம கோல் இருக்கும் ஆல்ரெடி எந்த மாதிரி சிச்சுவேஷன்லயும் இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறது the product or a process, it is called as understanding of the problem statement. நமக்கு ப்ராப்பரா ஒரு ப்ராப்ளத்தோட clear understanding இல்ல அப்படின்னா we are unable to provide a solution for any problem. So that always whenever you are going to find the understanding of the problem statement, நம்மளுக்கு clear-ஆ இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னா always we should have a proper communication with the customer, so that here the input is the proper communication with the customer. for evaluation of means a customer, for identifying a best solution. Means for getting exact requirements. Requirements means it is a needs. தேவையான நம்மளோட ப்ராப்ளம் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டை நம்மளுக்கு கிளியரா அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா we should have a proper clear communication with the customer, then only we can able to identify the problem statement. So எப்போ ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் நம்ம சால்வ் பண்ண தெரிஞ்ச முன்னாடியும் so we are going to have a clear idea about a problem statement, so then we are going to understand the strength and weakness of current existing system, weakness of the current existing system. So once you know the strength and weakness of the current existing system, then only we can able to develop a new things. அப்பதான் நம்மளால என்ன பண்ண முடியும், new things நம்மளால ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண முடியும். Okay, so in order that தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும் அப்படின்னா the first of all we must to know one important thing, that is called instance. Instance அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன அப்படின்னா the range of input, simply we call this a range of inputs in which the algorithm will work, the algorithm will handle. அதாவது நாம எழுத போற ப்ரோக்ராம் அல்ல அல்காரிதம் என்ன டைப் ஆஃப் இன்புட்ஸ்க்கு இந்த ப்ராப்ளத்துக்கு இந்த சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணும் அப்படிங்கறது கிளியர் ஆயிட்டா இருக்கணும். அந்த நெக்ஸ்ட் திங் என்ன அப்படின்னா சோ இன் கேஸ் இது வந்து நீங்க ப்ராப்பரா பண்ணல அப்படின்னா, இஃப் இட் இஸ் நாட் ப்ராப்பர், நீங்க வந்து நீங்க ப்ராப்பரா இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணல அப்படின்னா, அதாவது நீங்க ப்ராப்பரா இதுக்கு டைம் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணல அப்படின்னா வந்துட்டு அன்வான்ட், தட் இஸ் கால்ட் அன்னெசரி ரீவொர்க் நமக்கு தேவையில்லாத வரும். ரீவொர்க் ஆர் அன்வான்ட் ரீவொர்க்ஸ் இருக்கும். Okay, so and generally for any industry, if they want to develop an application, normally they are going to spend more amount of time for gathering requirements, for gathering needs, or maybe we call it as understanding of the problem. ப்ராப்ளம் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்றதுக்கு இது எல்லாமே கிளியரா அவங்களுக்கு இது பண்ணணும். so that we need to spend more amount of time for understanding the problem. okay, so for simple examples, இப்போ வந்து ஒரு ப்ராப்ளத்தை நம்ம வந்து கிளியரா அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணல அப்படின்னா நம்ம என்ன நம்மளோட அப்ஜெக்டிவே கிளியரா தெரிஞ்சுக்க முடியாது. so that நம்மளோட அப்ஜெக்டிவ்ஸ் கிளியரா தெரியல அப்படின்னா நமக்கு திரும்ப இல்லாம ரீவொர்க்ஸ் வந்துடும். I think already you know that no waterfall model பத்தி நீங்க கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க. so waterfall model வந்து பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா if it is நமக்கு அந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட பத்தி எதுவுமே டெவலப் தெரியாத போது புதுசா நம்ம டெவலப் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா it is a step by step process. இப்ப நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டேஜ்லயே பண்ணிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா ஈவன் நம்ம ஃபோர்த் ஸ்டேஜஸ்ல போயிட்டு இருக்கும்போது எட்ட கிளாரிபிகேஷன் ஆர் சேஞ்சஸ் இருக்குன்னா again we have to redo that, so that the cost for the development is increased. காஸ்ட் அண்ட் டைம் எல்லாமே ரொம்ப இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகும். so that in order to avoid this problem, இந்த மாதிரி ப்ராப்ளம் unnecessary reworkலாம் நம்ம அவாய்ட் பண்றதுக்கு அப்படிங்கிறதுனால so first thing என்னன்னா அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங், ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் டெஃபினிஷனை கிளியரா அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிருக்கணும். so the understanding always to reduce or identify the gap between your current existing system and your objective. so at the end of your input means at the end of this process you are getting output is clear understanding of your problem statement, clear concept of your problem statement. problem statement பத்தி உங்களுக்கு கிளியரா தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். so once இது கிளியரா தெரிஞ்சிருச்சு அப்படின்னா then you can start it. அப்ப கிளியரா தெரிஞ்சிருச்சு அப்படின்னா then rework எதுவுமே தேவையில்லை. so அப்போ வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா அப்ப இதுக்கு what's a communication I have to do, அப்ப மீன்ஸ் input அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன நம்மளுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். so நார்மலா input அப்படிங்கிறது it is a communication with the customer. யார் வந்து நம்மளுக்கு ப்ராப்ளம் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ஸ் தராங்களோ அவங்களோட கஸ்டமர்ஸ்ட கம்யூனிகேட் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். or simply we call as a problem statement as an input. சிம்பிளா சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னா ப்ராப்ளம் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் as an input and அவுட்புட் என்ன அப்படின்னா அந்த கிளியர் ப்ராப்ளம் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டுக்கான கிளியர் ஐடியாஸ் நமக்கு கிடைச்சிருக்கணும். ஸோ இதுதான் வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப். ஸோ அடுத்தது என்ன அப்படின்னா ஒன்ஸ் நமக்கு என்ன கிடைச்சிருச்சு அப்படின்னா now we have an idea that problem statement பத்தி கிளியரா கிடைச்சிருச்சு. then we are going to identify the sum of the parameters for solving a problem. so the first one is you are going to identify the capacity of your RAM, means நீங்க என்ன மாதிரி மெஷின்ல ரன் பண்ண போறீங்க. so whether what type of methodologies you are going to provide அப்படிங்கறத first of all you are going to identify the in which machine you are going to test in, so that you must know the hardware requirements of your program. That means a computational device always indirectly means that it is called as a hardware hardware requirements and its strength. இதை நம்மளுக்கு clear-ஆ தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். So and the next thing is whether you are going to do it as a sequential way or parallel algorithm for running. So இது எல்லாமே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்மளுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். So ஒன்னு வந்து நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ற மெஷினோட ஆல் ஹார்ட்வேர் கான்ஃபிகரேஷன் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். And second one is you are going to do it, solve your problem with the help of sequential order or maybe a parallel algorithm. இந்த ரெண்டு parameters நம்மளுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். Sequential algorithm means that each and every means the flow and the depends on வந்து previous problemத்தோட means previous stepோட answer தான் அடுத்த step வந்து நம்மளுக்கு clear-ஆ இருக்கு அப்படின்னா that means one by one தான் solve பண்ணனும் அப்படின்னா we can go with sequence algorithm or otherwise we can go with the parallel algorithm. அதாவது parallel algorithm I think maybe you heard about that is called multi-threading in Java. So means that there is two independent between two different steps. So the different step independent எதுமே இல்ல அப்படின்னா then we can go with the parallel algorithm. Okay, so now you know what is the type in the machine, என்ன type of machine run பண்ண போறதோ ஒரு ஐடியா கிடைச்சிருச்சு. Then next thing is you are going to identify whether we are going to provide an exact solution or maybe an approximate solution. So maybe in some kind of a problem we are expecting only approximate answer. For some kind of a problem we are expecting for exact answer. So first next one is we are going to decide on what type of solution we are going to provide. And the next is very important. So the next to this designing designing of approximate data structure. We call as a data structure. So normally if you are saying it is a program, simply it will be classified as algorithm plus data structure. It is a very important. Data structure means the way we are going to by using the logical relationship, the way we are organizing. So the selection of the data structure play a major role when you are going to find a solution for any problem. So normally the data structure means we are going to say the memory representation for solving. So algorithm with the help of the data structure always it leads to the development of the program. So we must know what are the fundamental data structures. So already we are aware about these are the fundamental data structure like array, linked list, stack, queue. According to the problem statement, so we are going to identify like tree, graphs, etc. So these are the some of the fundamental data structures are available or will be supported. So that with the help of this data structure, we are going to identify the proper data structure which is needed for implementation. We are going to apply. So the next thing is, so once now the data structure is over, then the next I will go with algorithm design techniques. It is a very important algorithm design technique that is called simply we call as a ADT. So normally it is a strategy. Strategy or maybe we call as a paradigm. So for means it is simply we call as it is a general approach. It's a this is a ADT or maybe called as this is a strategy, algorithm design strategy, or maybe we call as algorithm design paradigm. So it says that it provides a general way for solving any problems. Can be applicable. It can be applicable to a variety of problem statements. So variety of problems from different area of computing. அதாவது என்ன ஏரியா இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல we are going to apply. So அந்த ப்ராப்ளம் வந்து எந்த ஏரியால இருந்தாலும் சால்வ் பண்றதுக்கான மெத்தடாலஜிஸை ஃபைண்ட் பண்ணணும். So இது வந்து பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா some of the simple examples that I'm going to point out. Some of the algorithm design techniques are like divide and conquer. So I think maybe everyone know about this. Divide and transfer. Like a brute force method, like backtracking. So we will discuss about this in one by one in later part. So even we have a branch and bound also we have. Then so like that there are nearly 10 or 19 problem different type of ADT methodologies there. So just here I listed only few things. So we will discuss about these algorithm design techniques in later part. So then I will move on to the next thing. So once the algorithm design techniques is over, and also you must to know that small corrections here. That is not a divide and conquer. That is called transfer and conquer. We are going to make a problem in some other format, and you are going to find a solution for this problem. So the thing is, this ADT provides that simply we call as a guide us to find the solution for any new problem, guiding us to find a new solution for any kind of a problem. And the next thing is it also we can able to identify, we can able to classify the area of the problem statement. In each area, these problems will be entered. So that and also normally this ADT will be called as a cornerstone. I mean that it's a backbone for development for a solution. In any problem, the backbone of work. So that's algorithm design technique is very, very important. The next thing is method for specifying algorithm. So already you know that now. So there are different methods for specifying algorithm. One is either you are going to do it as in natural language. So normally we are going to write as a step-by-step algorithm, or maybe we are going to provide in terms of pictorial representation. I think already you know what is a pictorial representation. We are going to provide the solution with the help of a flowchart, or maybe we can go with the concept of pseudocode. So these are the three possible ways we are going to represent means we are going to represent the algorithm. நம்மளோட algorithm represent பண்ணதுக்கு இந்த மட்டும் எந்த மெத்தட் வேணாலும் யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். There is no restriction for specifying algorithm. So normally three waysல வந்து algorithm specify பண்ணலாம். ஒன்னு வந்து பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா natural languages, we are going to write in natural language in type of step by step procedure, or maybe we are going to give the pictorial representation for solving a problem, and the third one is we are going to provide a pseudocode. The next thing is proving algorithms correctness. So the thing is, once you have the algorithm, once the algorithm is specified, either maybe diagrammatic representation, or maybe pseudocode, or maybe to be represented in natural language. So we have to give that the algorithm is correct, so that we are going to find the expected. We are going to give the input and collect your output, and find the difference between your expected output and your exact output. So there is no deviation, then that algorithm give the correct answer. Otherwise, the algorithm won't give the correct answer. So so normally with the help of so that from there we have to prove that the algorithm is work for the given any kind of the inputs. That is called as proving correctness. Assume that if the problem is not correct, means if the algorithm is not given a correct answer, there is a problem in the test cases, then we have to repeat from step number 2. Means the step again we have to go back to step number 2 and repeat. And the next thing is we are going to analyze an algorithm. So analyze an algorithm means that we are going to identify the best algorithm. Further, there are different factors we are going to find. One is called as a time complexity, and second one is called space complexity. And third one is called as simple. So I think already you know that simple is not an exact factor for analysis. Then sequence, it depends on application problem, so that it is also not a considered as an important factor. And the next one is called as a generability. So normally there are 5 factors normally used for analysis in algorithm. One is a time complexity. It always says that the amount of time needed for solving a problem. The next one is called space complexity. The amount of memory need to be occupied or needed for solving the problem statement. And next one is a simple. Always that the problem solution must the way you are going to solve a problem must be simple. Now also it being a sequence state, and it is a general. Always to provide the general solution. So normally we know that always the simple sequence depends on the problem statement, and the generality is always mainly to focus on always you are going to write an algorithm for providing the solution for any kind of input. So that these 3 factors will not be not considered as the important factor for analysis in algorithm. So that only the time and space complexity will be considered as an important factor for analysis of an algorithm. So the time complexity reflected the amount of time taken to solve. The algorithm takes some amount of time for completion of your find the solution for the given problem for the given input. It is called time complexity. And the next thing is coding an algorithm. So the coding algorithm means that so not just we are going to implement the algorithm in specific language according to the syntax. So that once if it is successfully implemented, then it will be tested. Means it will be debugged. Normally it will be debugged. We are going to find about the logical mistakes and all, debugged and tested and also verified. So these are some of the basic steps we need to provide. So these are the basic steps we need. Just I can show the diagrammatic representation for this. Before that, just I can recall once again. So here the major objective we are going to provide the fundamental steps for solving a problem. Problem solve what is the basic steps we need to consider. So that here the main goal is we are going to identify the problem solving method, along with we have to identify the best algorithm for solving. So for that, we have to go with the first one is understanding of the problem statement. So that the input is the needs, that's a customer problem statement. So the problem statement need to be identified so that it's a clear concept of the problem statement to be identified. That is the objective or the input for output for the first step. And the output of the first, based on the output of the first step, we are going to identify the parameters. One is we are going to analyze the capacity of the build system, which is going to be implemented on the particular machine. And next one is we are going to identify whether you are going to provide approximate solution or actual solution. And the next one is we are going to select the proper data structure for in order to store the values. It may be a permanent or maybe a temporary, so that we have to identify the proper data structure for the implementation. So that some of the sample data structures like array, linked list, stack, queue, tree, and graphs will be considered for implementation. As next one is we are going to select the proper algorithm design technique strategy, so that normally it provides a general approach for solving a problem. So the problem we can take in from it can be this algorithm design technique strategy is applicable for any problems which is come from different area of computing. So some of the algorithm design technique like divide and conquer, transfer and conquer, brute force method, backtracking, branch and bound, some other methods also we have. With the help of that, we are going to find a solution. And there are different methods. Once all the parameters are analyzed and you know the methodology for implementation, then we are going to construct an algorithm so that we are going to identify the best way for defining an algorithm. Either we are going to do it as per the HTML language, or maybe we can do with the diagrammatic representation in terms of a flowchart, or maybe with the help of programming instruction that is called pseudocode. So now the algorithm is over. Then after that, you are going to prove that the algorithm is the correct one. So for that, you are giving proper input and note it means record your output and find the difference between your expected and the actual output. If the expected output is equal to the actual output, then we can say that the algorithm is worked correctly. So once the algorithm is correct, means if it is proved that it is a correct one, then I am going to analyze this with the algorithm complexity. So with the help of time and space complexity, there are 5 different factors we have for analysis. In that the time and space complexity is very much important for analysis. So once if it is over, then if we found that the algorithm is good, then it will be implemented with the help of any type of a programming language. So once if it is developed, let's say implemented, then it will be debugged and it is tested and as well as verified. Just I can showcase the diagrammatic representation for solve this. So this is the diagrammatic representation for solving a problem. So the first one is you are going to understand the problem. So that the input must be in a problem statement. Once this understanding the problem statement is over, we are getting a clear idea about your task. So based on the task, we are going to evaluate your parameters along with your data structure, capacity of your machine you are going to consider, and whether you are going to provide exact or approximate solution. Also identify what is the methodology you are going to use for implementation of your algorithm design technique. So the next thing is you are going to design an algorithm. Once the algorithm is designed, then you are going to prove that, means you are going to specify an algorithm that is called design an algorithm. Then after that, I am going to check it that the algorithm, whether the algorithm is worked or not. So if there is a problem, means that the algorithm input or output, there is a deviation between your expected and the actual output, it will be repeated. This is a capacity of this parameter analysis and specification of the algorithm is repeated. Based on your analysis, prove correctness. Then if the algorithm is correct, then it will be applicable, adoptable for analysis in algorithm. So that if others also these two steps are repeated, means that it will be repeated from the step number 2. So once you feel that algorithm have a correct means less complexity, then with the help of any programming language, the algorithm can be manipulated. So these are the some of the basic steps need to be followed in order to understand the problem statement. Thank you.